When was the last time that you said, I don't have time for? And that could be something like, I don't have time to do the clean that I need to do. I don't have time to study. I don't have time to work. I don't have time to go and see my friends. I don't have time to go and call my parents. Whatever the case may be, when was the last time that you said those words? Most likely it was today. We've all been there. But then also, when was the last time you spent a couple of hours scrolling on social media or just sitting around doing nothing during that time that you apparently didn't have? Now, I'm not saying this to make you feel guilty, but I feel like we have to sometimes have a bit of a reality check. And like I said, we've all been there, we've all done it. We've claimed not to have time, but we've ended up wasting time doing things that, quite honestly, don't give us joy and don't make us feel better about ourselves. And by the end of that session of scrolling on social media, we actually feel worse. And so here are a few things, 4 things to be precise, that I do every single day or most days to help me save hours of time during the day and adding up to multiple hours during the week, which means that I can actually guilt-free spend time scrolling on social media, knowing that I have done all the things I enjoy, knowing that I've completed all of my required tasks. And so those are the things that I'm going to be talking about in today's video. You may have watched this video here, where I talk about 4 other time management / productivity tips that I use to help me save time. And today I'm going to add to that because I have a load of tricks and tips under my toolbox. And if you want to keep on watching this video, then don't forget to press the like button, subscribe, and leave me a comment. The first is to use a prioritization scheme or matrix for all your decisions. So don't allow yourself to be the decider for what is the most important task. Rather, have a set method for allowing yourself to put all the tasks where it's required based on whether it's important, whether it's urgent, whether it's not important, or whether it's not urgent, or a combination of those. And that would automatically give you what you need to start with first, which tasks are the most urgent and the most important, and automatically places those tasks that you've been wasting your time on in the bin. So this is a nice matrix called the Eisenhower matrix, and I've spoken about it a ton before, and I use it all the time. Even if I just have like an afternoon of tasks to do and I just can't get myself to think about what I need to do first, I use this matrix. So I'll show it to you over here. It's essentially a 2x2 table, and you've got important, not important, urgent, and not urgent. And you then place your tasks into the required boxes. So let's say you have an essay due, it's 3,000 words, and it's due on Monday, right? Today's Friday. That's pretty important, and it's pretty urgent. So that should be in the urgent, important box, which means when you're sitting there thinking, okay, what task do I need to start with? That should be the one. Whereas an essay due in April, for example, which is 3,000 words, yes, it is important, but it's not urgent right now, so that can go in the important, not urgent section, so that you will come to, but it's not something that you need to do today or even in the very near future. So this is a habit I like to do all the time because it really helps me stop wasting time on things that I really don't need to do. It really means that I'm focusing on those tasks that are a priority to me. And I feel like a lot of us struggle with identifying those tasks on our list that are a priority. And this is a great way of doing that. The second is something that I like to call morning reattachment. Now, we like to do this on the flip side, on the other side, which is detaching from things. So, you come back home from a long day, you take your clothes off, you might have a shower then you might just sit down and just slump for a few minutes, and you're detaching yourself from work. You're detaching yourself from the day, and you're getting ready for your evening routine, be that whatever it may be, right? But there's a detachment process that occurs at some stage between leaving work. Maybe on your journey home, you start to just kind of detach from work, but you do that whether you realize it or not. The opposite doesn't usually occur, and that's the reattachment. So in the morning, and you're probably thinking, I don't want to reattach. It will save you hours of time. Let me explain. So in the morning, when you're getting ready to go to work, or you're getting ready to start your day, if you're reattaching, give yourself a moment just to think about what's going to happen at the start of your day, what is the most important thing to get through today, you know, kind of visualizing your day. And I spoke about this in the last video, and I called it micro visualization. And it's quite similar to this, except it's more just kind of reminding yourself that now you are stepping into this new role, which is the 9 a.m. starting your job, or whatever it is that you start in the morning. And one thing that I like to do is tell myself what I want to achieve or accomplish in that day. So by attaching myself to the day, I'm saying, right, so now, I've dropped the kids off to work, I'm now attaching myself to work, and today I'd really love to film 5 videos. And so I've got myself into that mindset. And what that means is you're saving yourself so much time in the morning, because a lot of the time what happens when you don't do this is that, you know, you're in denial, again, you don't realize that you're in this mental stage, but you're in denial. You're like, oh, I hate work, I can't be bothered, blah, blah, blah. You get to work and then you flap around for half an hour or an hour because you just can't be bothered to get started. Half an hour's gone down the drain, an hour's gone down the drain, it's lunchtime soon, you know, you've wasted so much time. And that happens even in our personal lives as well, when we don't think about the structure and the way that we want to do things. And so what ends up happening is we end up wasting so much time, when if we had just got ourselves into the mindset that, right, I need to get this done in the morning, and that's the first thing I need to do, then just that 5 minutes of mentally like resetting and attaching yourself to what there is to do makes such a difference, because wherever your mind is where your body will be. Okay, the third tip that I do almost every single day in some capacity, again, I call it life prep. And this is a term that I kind of have stolen from like meal prepping, I guess. And this is where you essentially prep and you batch do certain tasks to save you time. So this is essentially where you do a similar task on the same day, or like at the same time, or you have a similar habit that you repeat again and again and again around the same time. So for example, one of the things that I like to do is to do with laundry. At any given moment in time, you either have laundry that needs to be done, that you're doing right now, that needs to be, you know, dried, that needs to be folded, put away. Laundry is a big task that is in a constant state, in one of its states as an adult, right? And it can get quite heavy on the shoulders, especially if you now have to do laundry for kids, or you've got your work outfits, and then your kind of weekend outfits. Now you've got a load of laundry, or you've got a uniform you have to wear for school or for work. It gets quite overwhelming. However, if you keep to a certain schedule for your laundry, it makes such a difference, because on the days that you're not meant to do it, it's not in your mind. So I always tell myself, laundry day, I'll do it like Friday night, put it in the laundry, in the washing machine, Friday night, let it run at night, wake up in the morning, it's either dried if I've let it dry, or I take things out, etc. So like Monday to Friday, like Monday to Thursday to the end of Friday, I don't think about laundry. Like, it just doesn't come into my mind. And I think we underestimate the power of mental burden, and like how much we carry when we think and ponder, and we've got these reminders in our head. It makes such a difference in like our productivity overall. So by having like a time and a date and a specific occasion for when you do certain things, and sticking to that makes such a difference. Another one, like I mentioned earlier, is meal prepping. That's a really obvious one. I think loads of us might do that already. Cooking on a specific day, shopping on a specific day. So like we won't just randomly go to the supermarket on a Wednesday evening. Like we just don't go on Wednesday evening. Usually we'll go like on a Monday morning, like really early, so when it opens like 7, 8 a.m. Or we'll go like on a Saturday morning really early, so try to avoid the crowds as much as we can. Of course, if something runs out, you can go and grab that. But for the most part, you shouldn't be in a supermarket every single day, because that's a waste of time. So try as much as possible to like life batch and kind of collect the tasks that you do on a daily basis, but try to make it happen on one day rather than spreading it out over the week. Okay, and the last one, you guys are gonna like this, is including breakout blocks within your routine. So I talk a lot about time blocking and like, blocking your time out, but we also should really block out and reserve time for when we're going to take a break. And this may sound counterintuitive, but actually by blocking out time for breaks, you actually can work more productively because you're kind of looking forward to and expecting that break. And so because you know that break is definitely going to happen, it's in your timeline, it's in your, in your schedule, you will make sure that you work as much and as hard as possible leading up to that break. This is kind of mimicked in the Pomodoro technique. I never know how to say it properly. Like, what's the Italian way of saying it? Pomodoro? I actually have no idea. Can you tell me how you pronounce it in an Italian accent? But yeah, this is a great way. So you have 25 minutes of like work time, and then you know at the end of that little like work session, you are going to have a 5-minute break, right? That break is going to happen regardless. So, you don't have to follow the 25-minute, 5-minute, but just in general, like throughout your day, try to find time where you block out breaks. Now, let's say, I know I speak a lot about, working and if you're a student, etc. And I know people following me here that are obviously not students, might just be like at home with kids, or might just be at home having, working from home or whatever. So it also can work in that sense too. So let's say, for example, you've got kids and you want to block out a break. Now, what does a break look like with kids? That's a hard one. But just having some time where you're just laying down. They can be around you, they can lay down with you, but that's time where you're not cleaning, you're not cooking, you're not doing, you're just resting. And that may not seem like it's me time, but that's a break. And that's you actually taking time to relax. And so you know that, right, I'm gonna do these things until 11 o'clock, and then I'm actually just gonna lie down, and they're gonna be around me, and that's okay. It's important for them to get used to seeing you like that as well. So it's a win-win on both sides. So yeah, I mean, those are the 4 things that I pretty much, like I said, I mentioned I do these 4 and the last 4 that I spoke about almost every day, wherever needed. It's part of my routine. I don't even think about it. And that's the great thing about these habits. When you do them every single day, they're not even something that you think, oh, actually, should I? No, you just do it because it's part of your nature at some point. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any other suggestions or any other techniques that you use, then I'd love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up, and don't forget to comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.